Now, I normally don't ask you guys to stay to the end with my videos. That's not my style. You can check my track record. I will never do that. Maybe once, but not often. But I got a question for you guys at the end, but it has to wait until the end. But it's a very important question, and I really want your guys' opinion. My name is Dorian. This is SEM Comics. We are continuing our coverage of Fall of X, and we are concluding our coverage of Children of the Vault with number 4. So the story starts off with the last one left off in the city, where Cable is holding a huge gun to the city's head. He's pretty much saying, one more step and you'll be scraping the upper left side off the walls. And then we cut to a Sentinel staring at Rodrigo Muniz. And remember back from issue 1, he was a young man from South America. He's from a very impoverished area in South America, and his life was pretty crappy until the Children of the Vault came. Or should I say Children of Tomorrow? You know what I'm saying. And it's through him we're seeing how the message works. Now, a Sentinel is telling them to remain calm, that they are there for his protection. And he has no reaction. He's just staring at it with his cold, dead eyes. He's not scared because he stopped feeling fear like 2 weeks ago. And then he also noticed that he didn't feel joy, anger, or anything else. And then all of a sudden he starts coughing and he doubles over and then he starts throwing up something blue. And then he's just sitting there saying become. And then we cut to the Reforge. For those of you who don't know what that is the mother mold that creates all these Sentinels, and it is creating 1,000 Sentinels an hour. And if you notice, it's right at the surface of the sun. That's going to be important here in a minute. Now, as impressive as mother mold making 1,000 Sentinels an hour, what's also impressive is that an Orchid scientist says that the children are destroying more Sentinels than they can create. And that same scientist, in the same breath, says that they need to increase their productivity. He doesn't care if they have to blow up the sun, they just want to get it done. I'll say this once and you'll never hear me say this again. This is when we need the simpleton to just show up out of nowhere and shoot that dude in the head. But the children have that covered, because all of a sudden there's a soldier and he goes, "Hey, stop there. How did you get up here? Where are your parents?" And he goes, "I don't have parents. I can go wherever I want," because he's probably thousands of years old. And that soldier goes, "What's your name, kid?" And he goes, "It's a secret. They say it's bad. That should be a shame, but I can't help it." And then the soldier goes, "Hey, you're not." And then he finally realizes and he goes, "Oh." And then the kid goes, "I didn't pick my name. They picked it for me." And then the soldier goes, "Stay back. What are you doing? What's in your hands?" And the kid goes, "The future. You want to see?" And the soldier's like, "Stop." And the kid goes, "Morte. My name is Morte." And then the mother mold just blows up. So now we go back to the city. And we got Cable and Seraphine still having their little conversation. And Seraphine's like, "Put the gun down, Cable. Can't we just be civilized about this?" And Cable's like, "Civilized? Last time we met, you threw a battleship at me. And you seriously fucked up the head of a really good man." He's talking about Sam. Cannonball. And then she goes, "That was a different person. I evolved." How is Sam anyway? And Cable goes, "Dead. And before that, happily married." But you already knew that, didn't you? Now, if you're wondering how long ago that was, it was a very long time ago, like 1991, long time ago. I was 11. Let me know in the comments how old you were, or if you were even around back then. So then Cable's like, "Look, the superhero look doesn't look good on you, Seraphine. I like the old Seraphine." And she's like, "I could say the same thing about you. You're a mutant freedom fighter, and yet and still now you're working with the sapien supremacists." And then Cable's like, "One thing you should know about me, to get the job done, I'll work with the devil himself." And she's like, "But why? They murdered your entire race." And he's like, "And that's why I want to introduce you guys, because you have so much in common." So then Captain comes out of nowhere and goes, "Stop humoring, Seraphine," knocks Cable's gun out of his hand, and then starts taking it to Cable. And Seraphine's like, "I had the situation covered. Another 10 seconds, I had to take control of his firearm." And then Captain's like, "You're too subtle, Seraphine. These animals only understand direct." So Seraphine's yelling at him, and he's like, "Enough. I'm tired of this. The only question we should have is what to do with the bodies after the fact." And the Captain's like, "This world is ours. It was promised to us. And Cable spit right in his eye and was like crying over broken promises. You really are children. And then Captain, with spit in his eye, goes, it's over. Orcus is finished and the message has reached its final stage ahead of time. And everybody, whether you was with the children or against the children, everybody is starting to change. So now Orcus just didn't send sentinels, they also sent some soldiers down there too. Now maybe they was in space and they didn't get the message, but it doesn't matter because the children are handling them too. So then we cut back to Cable, Captain, and Seraphine. And Seraphine's like, all you did was make it harder on them. You made it painful. The message was our way for them to evolve, a gift of peace. And all of a sudden, all you hear in the background is keep your peace. And it's Bishop hitting them with a big ass energy blast. So the Bishop goes, all you talk about is your new ideas and your evolution. And all I've seen you do is hand out small pot blankets, put your hand around our necks. Oldest trick in the book. And if you don't know what he's talking about how the old America did the Native Americans dirty. Because there's no way the new America would do that. It wouldn't look good on social media. So now I'm done with my rant. Back to the story. So then Cable's like, the devil himself. About damn time. So then Bishop goes, I didn't think you need saving so soon. Are you embarrassed? Because I'd be embarrassed. Have you seen Bishop's face? Yeah, he should be embarrassed because that heavy hitter from the last issue hits pretty heavy. So the Seraphine's like, Bishop, Cable, what do you hope to accomplish? The human race has hours and the mutant race has already been wiped out. And then Captain's like, why is it so hard for you guys to realize we're the future? You can't fight the future. And then Bishop's like, actually, we're known for it. They're like, you're only delaying the future. And then Cable's like, more like stalling. Because Nurse Hattie says we are ahead of schedule. Now, Nurse Hattie is the AI that's on this techno-organic virus arm, which is about to be very important here. Not his arm, but a techno-organic virus. Because she finishes her countdown, 3, 2, 1, and the city starts talking in ones and zeros, or code. So one of the children is beating up a Stark Sentinel, which if you read X-Men 23, we know how hard that is to do. And then out of nowhere, he just says, a flaw. And then he starts being covered by the techno-organic virus, which is a crazy plan that Cable had. Listen to this. He goes, 1,000 years into the future, there is a cozy little timeline where everything is a phalanx and the phalanx is everything. As a younger, less cautious man, I risked assimilation to get a sample of this super strain of the techno-organic virus used to convert this universe. Thought it might come in handy someday. And I was right. My techno-organic virus gave me limited control over this hyper-evolved strain. That's why when they brought me back from the dead, I insisted it be with my virus. So I made sure I put the actual strain in a secret weapon stash underneath the mansion, which Bishop picked up last week. And on my way to this point, I've been spreading it all over the place because this is not a gun, this is a syringe. And then Bishop goes, the oldest trick in the book. So every time he's been shooting and missing, he really hasn't been missing. He was just spreading the virus out. So then one of the children is like, you infected the city? And Cable was like, think of it like a gift of peace. And he's like, it's already corrupted your AI and converted 10% of your city to techno-organic matter. At this rate, the entire city and everyone in it will be irreparably converted in about 24 hours. And then Bishop chimes in, things move fast in the city. And then he's like, these are just the early symptoms. These are a walk in the park. Once the virus converts enough matter into techno-organic material, it's going to set up a Babel spear, and it's going to send a signal to Technarch, which is a cannibalistic world that feeds on solar systems. And then Bishop's like, let's see how your predator city does against a predator planet. And then Cable's like, you're the future. Welcome to the past. And Bishop's like, we're all here. And Seraphine's like, you think you won, but even though the techno-organic virus is in our database, it will develop a cure way before it sets up that spear. So then Cable's like, 1,000 years into the future, this virus could consume the whole planet of post-humans. But say you're right, we went a little bit further. You see, that heavy hitter that Bishop was fighting, she was protecting like a nursery of future post-humans that now are surrounded by a whole bunch of 24th century oblivion bombs. And Bishop's like, she fought like hell. His face says it. But now all I have to do is press a button and poof, there goes the future. If the virus doesn't get them, the mushroom cloud will. And they're like, shut up, you guys are bluffing. Even you mutants want to kill babies. And Bishop's like, I wish I could say I wouldn't hurt a child no matter what the stakes, but unfortunately my track record says otherwise. So Captain is freaking out. He's like, I'll kill you. And Seraphine's like, stop, what do you propose? And then Cable's like, leave, take the message with you, go back in the vault and never come back. So Captain's like, they're bluffing, they wouldn't kill the world just to defeat us. And Cable's like, you said it yourself, our people are dead and humans are responsible. The way I see it, everybody gets what they deserve and we'll just start over in another timeline. So the Seraphine's like, the Captain's right, you guys are X-Men and the X-Men don't do this. This is not who you are. And Bishop's like, X-Men? There are no more X-Men, they got pushed into the meat grinder. We're just two old soldiers with not too much to lose. So then Bishop's like, you talk to machines, you see through time. Take a good long look at us. Go ahead and look and see what we've done and then ask yourself, maybe they are bluffing, but considering what we've done, can you really take that risk? So then Cable's like, you better make a decision soon because the virus is about to be in the nursery. And once it gets into those babies, you'll never get it out. And then Bishop's like, you are beaten. You know you're beaten. Do the smart thing and save the children. And then Seraphine pretty much gives up. Captain's pissed, but she's like, no, I looked into their past and I say we can't risk the future. And then she says the phrase that Cable said in the very first issue, what is. So that's pretty much the end of it. Now she does say we could have protected the humans because there's something that's coming that nobody's ready for. And then Cable goes, we'll take our chances. No, you should not take her chances because it's the Dominion. That's what she saw and ain't nobody ready for that. Oh, and Orcus, they got all the credit for beating the children. So now that we know how the story ends, my question is, where in the hell is Darwin at? Now, last time I remember seeing Darwin, it was when Forge went into the vault, he rescued Lord Kenny, he tried to get Darwin out, but Darwin's like, no, I have evolved into this new state. He's pretty much like a living AI. And he pretty much was like, no, I'm gonna stay right here. So Darwin should have been a part of the city. The city came out of the vault. There was a whole story done and nobody said a word about Darwin. Why? Now, if there's a story where Darwin got out, please let me know in the comments, but I didn't read that story. I'm thinking Darwin was going to be like a crucial part of this story and he was never brought up. I mean, they brought up stuff in the 90s about the children of the vault and nothing about Darwin. So that kind of upset me. I'm just not gonna lie. But yeah, let me know in the comments if I'm just talking out my ass and I just didn't read the story, or you know, why they left him out, because they shouldn't have. And now I'm gonna end this an old school way. If you are new here to SEM Comics, please hit the subscribe button, become part of this SEM Nation. Would you hit that subscribe button? Go ahead and hit that bell notification, you'll know when a new video comes out. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. My name is Dorian, this is SEM Comics. Thank you guys for watching my videos, I really do appreciate it, and you guys have a good day.